Hello students, welcome. Today we are going to learn about the reproductive health. Now before starting the chapter, let us discuss what is reproductive health, what are the problems and the strategies. Reproductive health means a total well-being in all aspects of reproduction. Though it's been said that reproduction is not necessary for an individual, but for society reproduction is necessary, right? So we can say that reproduction is necessary for the society, not for the individual, right? But reproductive health is important, right? It will help our society to sustain. So reproductive health means a total well-being in all the aspect of reproduction. A person is able to reproduce healthily. Its reproductive parts are healthy, right? Its internal organs, their secondary growth is normal. India initiated reproductive health programs, that is family planning, in 1951. This is the plan that India has initiated under the reproductive program plans in 1951. Reproductive and child health care programs, which is also known as RCH. What is the importance of this program? The points are to aware the people about reproduction related aspects, to create a reproductively healthy society. The first point, it indicates that the main important aspect is to make the people aware about reproduction related aspects. It is about their physical body, it is about the procedure, it is about the young one that's going to born, right? So all the reproduction related aspects that comes under the reproductive and child health care. The second point here states that to create a reproductively healthy society. Every country needs a healthy society for its development. So government is imposing more importance to have the healthy society, so it will help the country to develop. For that, we need to have the sex education in the school. Now, what is the aim and needs of the sex education in school? To provide right information about sex-related aspects, to avoid sex-related myths and misconceptions, proper information about reproductive organs, adolescence and related changes, safe and hygienic sexual practices, STD, AIDS, etc. This is the need for sex education in the school, because the people, if they are aware, if they have the proper knowledge about sexual reproduction, sex education, if proper sex education is being provided to the young children, to the adult, then future population will be healthy. So these are the points that are the aim and need for the sex education in school. Moving ahead, now, population explosion and the birth control. Why do we need to control, why do we have to, control the population? Population is exploding like anything. You can see here, in 1900, the world population was around 2 billion, that is 2,000 millions. By 2000, it rocketed to 6 million. So you can see there is, increase, doubling of this within short period of time. Doubling, I can't say doubling, triple times it is in short period of time. In India, now if we talk about the India, population was nearly 350 millions during independence. It has crossed 1 million in May 2000. It means every sixth person in the world is an Indian. So we can here highlight it, that every person here, sixth person, right? Sixth person in the world is an Indian. So population is increasing day by day like anything. According to 2001 census, The population growth rate was still around 1.7%, that is 17 per year per thousand increase, a rate at which a population could double in 33 years. Right? These are the data that you have to remember. Now, why it's the need to consider the population explosion? Why do we need to control population explosion? The reasons are, the primary reason is resource. We don't have that much resources in our country that can support a population. If the population will increase like today it is increasing, then the resources that are present may get depleted, right? And then we don't have that much land mass as well for the population. And if more population is there, then more agriculture practices needed. But for population, also for sustaining, for living them, they need house. Right, so land is reducing and population increasing. That is leading the depletion in our resources. And what will be the effect of it? If we don't have a land, if we don't have proper agriculture practices, if we don't perform proper agriculture practices, that will lead to unhealthy population, which is not important, which is not good at all for any country. Now, reasons for population explosion. Number one is increased health facilities and better individual living conditions. What are the reasons for the population increasing? Number one, it says that as the health facilities that increases, so the death rate has reduced. That is mortality, that means death rate, right? Death rate has reduced. Why? Because of the increase in health facility and because of the better living conditions. Second reason is a rapid decline in death rate, maternal mortality rate and infant mortality rate. Because of the health facility, as I discussed with you, that death rate has reduced. MMR, that is maternal mortality rate, during the time of birth, during the time of perfusion. Usually what happens previously, right, in past, due to lack of health facilities, the death rate of mothers and the infants were comparatively more if we compare it to today, right? But today it is being reduced. So old peoples are living, then mothers, then infants. So what is happening here? It increases a population. Third reason is increase in number of people in reproducible age. Now, what is the meaning of reproducible age? Reproducible age is the age in which an organism is able to reproduce. Let's say it's the age from where the person is able to reproduce, like we can say 15 or 18 to 50, right? If we say 50. So in our India, we have more number of people in reproducible age. Now, if more number of people are there in reproducible age, that will lead to increase in the number of population. So these are the three reasons for population explosion. Now we will see the impact of population explosion. What is the impact of population explosion? Scarcity of basic requirements, food, shelter and clothing. That I have discussed it also with you, that if population is there, then there will be scarcity of food, then it will be scarcity of shelter and clothing. So this all will lead to unhealthy population, which is not good for any country. Next is control measures. What are the control measures? Number one, motivate smaller families. These are the control measures done by a government, right? And What are those? Number 1 point states that motivate smaller families by using contraceptive methods. Aware people about slogan Hum Do Hamare Do. Many couples have adopted a one-child norm as well. Then statutory rising of marriageable age of 18 years for female and 21 years of male. Right, so these are the control measures that our government has taken, and a person has to consider it as well. Smaller family is good. Why it is good? Because if a family is smaller, then all the resources will be fulfilled by it, right? Then second one is aware the people about slogan Hum Do Hamare Do. Again, it will lead to small family, right? And third one is stick to. It should be compulsory. The marriageable age for female should be 18 years and for male should be 21 years, right? Now we'll move ahead for the contraceptive methods. Contraceptive methods, the ideal contraceptive should be, these are the particular points for a contraceptive method that can be used. Number 1 is user friendly, easily available, effective and reversible. Second one states that no or least side effect. Third point says, these are the points, important point for ideal contraceptive. Third state that it should not interfere the sexual drive, desire and or the sexual act of the user. Let's see different contraceptive methods. Number 1 is natural traditional method. Second is barrier. Then third one is intrauterine devices, which is IUDs, oral contraception, injectable and surgical method, which is also known as sterilization. Let's start with the contraceptive methods. Number 1 is natural, that traditional method. Avoiding, now in this it's a traditional method, the natural method in which we don't use any kind of external means. Avoiding chances of ovum and sperm meeting. It includes periodic abstinence, that is, avoid coitus from the day 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle for a fertile period. That is a fertile period, right? In menstruation, as we have discussed, in menstrual cycle it's of 28 days. Mid of the cycle, that is on the day 14 to 15. 14 and 15 is known as the fertility window, right? During which the ovum is released from the ovary, which is available. If coitus is avoided during this time period, then it will prevent the fertilization, which will prevent the conception. Second one is withdrawal of coitus interruption. Withdraw penis from the vagina just before ejaculation to avoid insemination, right? So second one that it states is coitus, withdrawal or coitus interruption. That is during the time of coitus, during the time of ejaculation, right? So semen should not be ejaculated inside the female reproductive system, that is in vagina. Third method is lactation amenorrhea. Now this one is important many of the time in the exams also it's been asked. What is lactational amenorrhea? It is prevention of conception by breastfeeding the child. Ovulation and the cycle do not occur during the period of lactation. So this is an important one. If a female is lactating, during this time her menstrual cycle is stopped. Ovulation doesn't occur because of the presence of progesterone hormone, right? Because of the sex hormones present in the female body. It has no side effect. This is effective up to 6 months following parturition. Chances of failure of this method are high. Now, if we talk about, there is more chances of failure for this natural method. Because now if we talk about the first one, then menstrual cycle differs in individual. It's not only 28 days in all the females, right? So chances of failure is high. Second one, again, it's like withdrawal of the penis from the vagina just before ejaculation. Ejaculation doesn't means that it will stop the entry of sperm or the semens, because even small amount of semen contains thousands of sperms, right? And third one, lactation. This also depends on the individual body, right? So the above methods, the chance of failure of this method is high. Next is the barrier method, which is the good one because it protect users from these sexually transmitted diseases. In this, ovum and sperms are prevented from physically meeting with the help of barriers. What is a barrier? That is preventing, right? So in this method, it's been preventing. Condoms are made of thin rubber latex sheet that are used to cover the penis in the male or vagina and cervix in the female just before coitus, so that the ejaculated semen would not enter in the female reproductive tract. So if semen is not entered in the female reproductive tract, so there is no chances for fertilization. Nirod is a popular brand of condom for the male. Condoms are very popular because, now these are the important why they are why they are so popular. Number one, it protects the user from STDs and AIDS. It is disposable, easy to dispose. Third point, it can be self-inserted and thereby give privacy to user. These are the diagrams I have taken from the NCERT only. Figure 4.1, condom for male, and below is condom for female. Barriers, diaphragm, cervical caps and walls. Other types of barriers are also present. They are made up of rubber inserted into the female reproductive tract. These are for females, those were for male and female, right? Inserted in the female reproductive tract to cover the cervix during coitus, which is a birth canal. Indirectly, the birth canal is being covered so that semen should not enter. They block the entry of sperms. The principle is same. They block the entry of sperm through the cervix. They are reusable, so which is a good one. Then in barriers, spermicidal creams and jellies and foams are also there, usually used along with these barriers to increase the contraceptive efficiency. Third one is intrauterine devices, which is long term. These are long-term methods. These are inserted by doctors. So here practitioners, expertise are needed, or expert nurses in the uterus through vagina. Now this is again for females. This include non-medical IUDs, copper releasing IUD, hormone releasing IUDs. Examples are given: Lipase Loop, CUT, CU7, multiloaded 375, and progesterone, LDN. So there are different types of IUDs available which are being inserted by doctors only. IUDs increases phagocytosis of sperm. This is the role of IUDs, what they are functioning inside the uterus. They are being placed in the uterus through vagina. So what are they doing? IUCD increases phagocytosis of sperms within the uterus, and the Cu ions, that is copper ions release, suppresses the sperm motility and fertilizing capacity of the sperm. Here are the diagrams, figure given. The hormone releasing IUDs make the uterus unsuitable for implantation. This is another principle, the hormone releasing. The first one, the previous one is for copper releasing, right? This one is hormone releasing. It will make the uterus unstable for implantation and cervical hostile to the sperms. IUDs are ideal contraceptive for the female who want to delay pregnancy or space. They want to have the space between the child. So this is the important one for IUDs. Fourth one is oral contraceptives. Oral administration of progestogens or progestogen estrogen combination in the form of tablets. Those are pills. Pills are taken daily for 21 days starting with the first 5 days of menstrual cycle. After a gap of 7 days during the menstruation occur, it has to be repeated in the same pattern till the female desire to prevent conception. Now, it has a drawback because it's a chemical, right? So when it has to start, it has been taken for 21 days, right? From within the first 5 days of menstruation, the first 5 days, right? Then after that we have to take, and gap of 7 has to be taken, that is menstrual phase. After menstrual phase, again for 21 days female has to continue this cycle. They inhibit, this is the principle, what they are doing, what the oral contraceptives are doing. They inhibit ovulation and implantation as well as alter the quality of cervical mucus to prevent the entry of sperms. Pills are very effective with lesser side effects. Saheli is the product name. New oral contraceptive for the females. It contains a non-steroidal preparation. It is a once a week pill with very few side effects and high contraceptive methods. Fifth one is injectables. Progestogens alone or in combination with estrogens are used by females as injection or implants. You can see in the diagram, right? So they are being implanted or injected under the skin. Their mode of action is similar to the pills, that because as they are just the injectables, right? But the role is same as the oral contraceptive pills. Administration of progestogens or progestogen estrogen combinations or IUDs within 72 hours of coitus is very effective as emergency contraceptive, as they avoid possible pregnancy due to rape or casual unprotected intercourses. So within 72 hours it has to be taken, because when fertilization occur, after 72 hours the zygote has formed and zygote has started implanting on the wall of uterus. So it has to be taken within 72 hours. Last one is surgical method, which is also known as sterilization. This is irreversible method. Above all, before all, like till 1 to 5, all were reversible, but this one is irreversible method. What happens in this? In surgical method, it has to be block the gamete transport and thereby prevent conception. It is very effective, but reversibility is poor. So every method has the drawback as well as benefit. There are two: vasectomy and tubectomy. Vasectomy in males, a small part of vas deferens is removed or tied up through a small incision on the scrotum. In female, tubectomy, a small part of fallopian tube is removed or tied up through a small incision in abdomen or through vagina. Here you can see in the diagrams, this one is fallopian tube, so tubectomy, and this one is vasectomy. Fallopian tube is tied. I'll use the different color. Tied over here, right? And here vas deferens cut it and tied. Last one, what are the side effects of contraceptive methods? Contraceptives are anti-natural, so have side effects as well. They create nausea, abdominal pain, breakthrough bleeding, irregular menstrual bleeding, breast cancer. So before opting any contraceptive method, we should know the side effect, we should know the consequences, benefits, drawback of the particular contraceptive method. Above all, if we compare 1 to 6, sixth one, that is surgical method, this surgical method is irreversible, right? Natural method, chances are less. Barrier method is good. It will prevent us from the STDs. IUDs are long term. Oral are effective, but then it lead to nausea, fatigue, other kind of side effects. And injectables within 72 hours we have to take, right? So every method has the pros and cons, that we can say, drawbacks as well as benefits. Thank you. Now in next video we'll be learning more about it. Thank you.